Welcome to our international podcast. Below the belt, who vex lose? How you folks do it? It's just you and I today, guys. We're gonna get a guest dropping by as well. But for now, it's just you and I. Good to see you folks. Trust that you guys are great. Happy to have each and every one of you here. Pace and power. Pace and power, good people. Pace and power. Let us know if you're hearing us clearly. If you're hearing me clearly. I are interested to know. Wishing critics a speedy recovery there. Both mishap yesterday. Wishing Guyanese critic a speedy recovery. Pace and power, critics. Pace and power. Candy Lean Indijit. See you out there. Ramilianda. See you out there. Boots on the ground. We there. How we sounding? Who vex lose? Pace and power, guys. Pace and power. Pace and power. Pace and power. Really happy you guys are joining us. Really happy you guys are joining us. Was at a wedding in Kanji yesterday. Saturday, as a matter of fact. Congratulations to the Austins. Wish them all the best. I love me a country wedding. It was beautiful, folks. I felt like renewing my vows right away. To having to hold in sickness and in health. We there here together, folks, for better or for worse. We out here cycling around. Cycling, how you doing now? Good to have each and every one of you joining us, good folks. Very happy that you guys have joined us today. We're going to be pulling in our guests virtually. Just a little bit, guys. In just a little bit. I want to share a couple of things with you folks. Then we're going to have Economist Elson dropping by. Very bright young gentleman, which tells us that the future augurs well when the old folks like us go off. Guys, I trust you're great. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Hope you reconnected with some friends, some family, had a little quiet time for yourself. I'm eking out and scraping out some quiet time for myself. Demanding it. Good to have you beautiful folks here with us. Below the belt, family, how you all doing? Murat says pace and power. Murat Reed. Roxanne Odessa Jacob says boots on the ground. Margaret Nelson. Good to see you, Margaret. Guys, and I trust you're hearing us loud and clear. Loud and clear. Hope you're hearing us loud and clear. Great to have each and every one of you with us. Things tight, folks. And looking forward to talking with Economist Elson Low. And perhaps how we get out of this things tight season. Since them boys come back, since they come back, you know how it's going. Things tight. Lord have mercy. Who's sharing the life for us today? Who can smash that emoji button so that other people get valid and credible information? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fantastic. Trust it all is well. Pace and power, good people. Where you guys at today? Granite Anderson, I see you there. Myrna's Toby's here with us. Donna Liverpool. Rami Leander says loud and clear. Thank you, Rami. One person watching with us. Sukdan Sukdio. Good to see you, Sukdan. Sukdio. Sending some cyber hugs your way. Some warmth and some love. Just for Sukden Sukdio. Pace and power, Sukden. Hope you have a great lunch. Good to have you. Leontina Jones. Joe. Paul Kush. Where is Sue? People want to know. Sue missing, folks. All you hear, that's Sue missing. A few weeks ago, your Vice President Barjaglio, Assistant Vice President Barjaglio, he said he couldn't find his tenant. He couldn't find his tenant, landlord and the tenant. That should be a series, you know, at least a reality TV something. The landlord and the tenant. The landlord couldn't find his tenant. Couldn't find his tenant. Still looking. And we picked up a copy of the morning papers and saw an article in there. Say that months later, Sue cannot be found. This is Guyana, folks. The greatest country on earth. The greatest. Fantastic country. You know, heard a Trinidadian girl on TikTok or TikTok, as some people are want to call it, saying that, you know, Trinis get upset and Guyanese get upset when people say we talk the same. And she was adamant we don't speak the same. Nothing against her Guyanese friends and so on, but we don't speak the same. She don't shame. The landlord and the tenant, folks. The tenant cannot be found. The tenant is being looked for. Yep. Guyana is the greatest. This is the greatest country on earth. I agree with the girl, we don't sound the same. Guyana is the greatest country on earth, folks. The man can't find the tenant. He got to go now at his nearest police station within his jurisdiction and ask them to look into this matter. He said he wanted to serve papers on the tenant, but the tenant missed it. Folks, you think there was ever a tenant? Word on the street says Sue pays about $2 million US in rent. I gotta see this house for myself. I gotta see the tenant's dwelling. $2 million. Us, folks, us. A month. That's what the word on the street saying. How you guys doing out there, though? So we're following that, folks. We're following that. My. 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 A lot of folks are complaining over the weekend and still about the administration of the Housing Expo. They said things are really rough out there. Things are really rough. The folks had to wait for hours, boy. Had to wait for hours. You know? Had to wait for hours. Got a call to go down there with some money to pay for the house lot. Come now. When they go down, it's pure purgatory. Confusion powder. Intended homeowners, prospective homeowners. He didn't consult with the finance minister. He said he hoped he wasn't too surprised. I ain't tell you all. Didn't I say it, folks? You're not surprised. I just said it. Why are you feeling surprised? I just said it. Just 2 seconds ago. I said it. Ghana is the greatest country on earth. The man said the foreign minister, the finance minister. I hope I surprise you. I hope I surprise you. Ashim must go with the little calculator now. Trying for doing maths here. How they can make this money fall out of the sky now. balance back this thing. We didn't budget for this. Story here now. It's a country, folks. Y'all think it's a country we running here? Lord have his mercies. Lord have his mercies. So be following that. And as we said, much of what has been happening is unplanned. You know, you make it up as you go along. You want to seem like you do something, so you announce this, you announce that. But we're following and we're watching, folks. And as we said, a lot of folks were complaining about the organization of what they've already touted to be a successful expo. Yeah. Them boys done pat themselves on the back and said, good going. Everything good. Nice time. Nice time. That's what them boys say. You think they're waiting on you? Certainly they ain't waiting on me to tell themselves how nice things going. Yeah, man. Them boys done pat themselves on the back. So as I said, folks were complaining. And I want to go through part of what somebody sent to us, sent to me. Somebody said, Uncle, watch this here. What story here? Lord, you think it's easy now? you think it's easy? You know? What story here, Mr. Duncan? What story here? Want to share some of that with you. There's everything that's out there wasn't gold. Everything is not gold. So I want to share some of that with you. I want to share some of that with you, good people. Because I don't want you to think that we just saying stuff for saying stuff's sake. The people repose a certain confidence in us to share what transpired, and we want to make sure that we're true to that. You know, I'd love to hear them say, you know, we had some challenges. We didn't get everything right for the expo. But we did our best. That's fair. But to come out and say everything was nice and rosy, you know, it was a little bit of heaven and earth. It's a little bit, what do you want to call it? It's a little bit uncharitable. It's one that I'm trying to be kind. It's a little bit uncharitable. And I don't want to pretend everything went nice. I see a lot of flashing lights and so on. A lot of sirens and so on, going up the side. But we trust that, you know, folks get what they want. A roof over their head, a piece of land to call their own, and some peace and happiness in this country. What more could we ask for? A little shelter, a little 2x4 that you own. You could pass to your kids and so on. Heard one man say the other day, land scarce in this country. You ever fly over this country and see the canopy of green? See the canopy of green? Is land scarce? For who? Let's take care of our people. Let's truly take care of them. Let's truly take care of our people. All right, trying to get my hands on the information. But how are you guys doing while I do that? How are you guys doing? How are you good people doing? How was the weekend? Lord, Lord, Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. Here one person told us, I had no intentions of going to Building Expo. I'm giving you verbatim. I had no intentions going to Building Expo. However, the organizers of this event has to show the organizers of this event had to show that a number of persons attended the event and a large number of persons got house lots. So I get a call from housing a few days ago. I need to visit the office and uplift a letter of allotment and invitation to the expo on Saturday at 1400 hours to transact the said business. So here I am now along with a loved one. Huge number of persons going to Building Expo because housing say I have to go there to get a house lot. Can't miss it because I don't know if I miss when my turn will come again. I can understand that. The person said I had no intention going. Now I'm in a situation at the stadium. Now I'm at the stadium from 2 o'clock along with persons who are at the stadium since 9 a.m. and still waiting to be addressed. Wow. I came at 2, but I see persons who are here from since 9 a.m. still waiting to be addressed. Myself and the hundreds of others going to 2 o'clock are told to sit in the stand and wait in no order or sequence. Just after 1600 hours, it's 4 o'clock. A housing employee along with 3 police officers come to share numbers, undecided how to start because there is no order. Persons just came in and sat anywhere, anyhow. Ended up with number C, and the number is given, which is equivalent to 200 and whatever the number is. At 5 o'clock, I'm still right where I started, waiting to go in and don't know when. Yep. However, as a Guyanese, a little strings dealing with persons in the A sequence, I heard persons got I sequence. Well, I skipped there, sorry. However, as a Guyanese, a little strings here and there, I got processed. This after 5, huh? A little strings here and there. It's always get by in this country. Gotta get your strings. I got processed before my number. The sad thing is, I left the expo, right? I left the expo. They were still dealing with persons in A sequences. I heard persons got I sequences, so I don't know what time they will be leaving the expo or if they're going to sleep over. Wow. Wow. The person goes on to say, this is not my words. When I hear of a successful expo with a number of persons that attended, I know for a fact many persons didn't go to the expo. They had to be there by proxy, wasting many hours to get their house locked and titled. Wow. Wow. That's all I'll say there. Valid, credible information. Right? Valid, credible information. The truth hurts, you know. Good people, the truth hurts. And that's only one person who reached out to us. Only one person who reached out to us. And hundreds of persons. Probably got people still there waiting right now to get a blood. Probably got people right now still waiting there. We gotta treat our people better. We got to. We got to. That being said, folks, you all know Sugate is with us for the indefinite into the indefinite future, much like the high cost of living. It's right here. It ain't going no place. Who's sharing the live? Good folks. Chisel Chipper, Salim Khan. We talking about dollars and cents, folks. Sugate is going to be here with us as long as the high cost of living is here. We can go through gate with us. And so we saw transparency. Yeah. We see Transparency International. Transparency International Guyana Incorporated. The Guyana hub, the Guyana chapter. They're calling for a commission of inquiry into the Vice News disclosures, into the Vice News revelations, into the scandal. Nobody's surprised. PP's corrupt. We always knew it. But thanks to a bold and brave reporter, Isabel Young, who should be getting the Democracy Award, the Order of Democracy, for the kind of work she produced. Thanks to her, we got a ringside seat to see them boys in action. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. And now, good folks, we know who got all the arrangements, who handles all the arrangements. We know who has all the support. Oh, Sue? Same Sue. Transparency International Guyana Incorporated. TIGI. They're calling for a commission of inquiry into the Vice News disclosures. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. That's all them boys care about, you know. That's what comes down to in the final analysis. Dollars and cents. Is who bang book bigger than who? Loretta Argyle. We hear you bang book tall. Osmond Hodge and Esther Blue. Good to see you folks. Sharon Botswain. How are you doing, Sharon? Auntie Sharon, how are you? Good to see you on the live, Auntie Sharon. Trust it all is well. Trust that Nazim is great. And Uncle Harry and everybody else. Monty Blue, good to see you. Pansy Fields. How are you doing? Hazelin King. Hazelin said, but where is Sue? Everybody wants to know. Where is Sue? Where is Sue? What we want to know? I'm certain Sue in plain sight. Back at some resort, counting how much thousands of acres of land he owns, or fronts for the owner. Who knows? I want to take a lie detector test though. That's what I want to do. Take a lie detector test. How about that? Desiree Manuel, Sadie DB, Leslie Simon, Lysis Mingo Byrne, Monifa Gilbert Jones. Somebody spot Monifa. Why? I know that. The woman who's spoken for. Gilbert Jones. Ann Kearns and Simone Hooper. Good to have you folks here. We're going to touch on perhaps one other issue. And then we're going to try to get our economists. Look at them trenches now and go quiet. Look how we friends can go quiet during the lunch break. Ralph Ramkaran, he was picking up on his column yesterday. Says corruption getting worse. Corruption getting worse. And goes on to say that a high-level office should be set up to counter it. Corruption getting worse. Ram Quran. Them boys looking thin. Them boys looking thin. He says, former speaker, the publication that is, who shared the live for us, the man? Who can smash the emoji button for us? We want others to get valid, credible information. Hundreds of you are watching us from around the world, and we're so privileged. Share the live. Smash the emoji button. Let me go down the road. Former Speaker of the National Assembly, Ralph Ramkaran, says the corruption continues to be a major problem here. Corruption continues to be a major problem here. And the PPPC government should establish a permanent high-level office to counter it. When? Who can staff it? Who going to staff it? Them boys want a permanent high-level office. Who can staff it? Writing in his column in yesterday's Sunday Starbook, Ramkaran noted the recent Vice News reports on Guyana and said while there was no smoking gun, you know what smoking gun really look like? There was no smoking gun. Its interviews with several Chinese businessmen reveal activities akin to bribery and money laundering. No. It's me 5 cents. A little remittances. They're scrutinizing. It's only left for to ask me for a stool and a blood sample. But them boys who move in millions of US a day. Millions in US a day, back and forth. Who hoops they gonna jump through? Y'all think it's easy? Who can share the live for us? Petula Boyce, you. Marilyn Samuels, Alana Tang. Alana says corruption to the highest under the PPP. Correct? Alana, correct. Corruptionism. Carolyn Haley. Anna Phillips. I see Guyana Spectator's here as well. So Guyana Spectator out over the weekend. You know, right now, things are rough with Guyana Spectator. A little breeze will lift Guyana Spectator off the ground. See all the collarbone and jawbone showing. This is time. Signs of the times. Signs of the times. Then Guyana Spectator come crying to me. You know? He says so much of them living in a house. They're sleeping in shifts. Signs of the times, folks. Things tight. People moving back home now with the parents. He says so much of in the house. Sherrod. We sleeping in shifts. He said these days we gotta be throwing the little water in the egg to stretch it. Then it happened on the Granger. What are you doing to we? As a spectator, you're on the wrong side. You're spectating, you gotta get actively involved. What in the act to stretch it? You think it's easy? Take it easy. He said a cousin called them. A cousin called him. He said so much of them. Pack up by the cousin house now. You gotta come outside to turn around and go back in. That's what a spectator told me over the weekend. Put up a spectator around by the expo. He said so much of them. I was thinking about going over there. We sleeping in shifts by me. But by them, so much of them pack up over that side. They're sleeping in shifts. By me. But by them, they gotta go outside to turn around. Then you come back in. You don't got space to turn around. So much people pack up. You gotta go outside, turn around and go back in. And while I talk about that, folks, brace yourself for this. Brace yourself. All right. So I got the graphic. Brace yourself. I told you guys I was in Kanji over the weekend after the expo. You know? And some folks there were talking to me about this. You know, the part-time jobs? 3,006 or 4 or 5,000 in region 6, 2,000 in region 5 and so on. You know, in part-time jobs? But let me get the dark side of the part-time job. Who's sharing the damn live? Who's sharing the live? Let me get the dark side of the part-time jobs. Let me get the dark side. The dark side. Woman says she's teaching at a school. You listening? Some of y'all laughing too much, you know. I'm gonna charge y'all something for that. Right? Happy Monday to you. Pay some power. Pay some power. The woman said the Friday school closed. She's a teacher. She's in 6. I hope you all listen to me. The Friday, get expected to listen to man. Stop texting and fighting. Listen to man. Tessalane Eastman. The Friday that school went out for the summer break. The Friday. You gotta listen to it. The Friday. Whoever assigned the workers assigned 30 people to their school as assistant teachers. No, you got assistant teachers chopping grass, assistant teachers cleaning the toilet. They come to the school as assistant teachers. They said they got, in their school, it's a small school they got. They got about 20 teachers to about 150 students. And then they sent 30 teachers, assistant teachers. They said they don't know what to do with them. School in recess. They're doing a little tidy up, you know, you're doing your little notes of lessons and so on, reconciling your registers and so forth. 30 people show up to work during the August month. Clearly, no thoughts are being put in that. Clearly, no thoughts are being put in. But hold on, man. Hold on. School going into recess. So the staff now, the school has moved from 15, 20. You add 30 to that. And nobody from the 30 doing nothing. Because there's nothing to be done. How much grass you can cut? No students are in the school, but you can just put work on the blackboard to have people rub it out. So as we stand up talking, I kept reminiscing on what spectators said, but all these people living by them and so on. I said, well, she turned to a colleague who was passing by and says the colleague works by a health center in the region. How much sent by you? Folks, if I lying and this thing and by y'all, let me know. The colleague works by a health center. The colleague says they sent 33 persons. They got an even smaller staff than the school. You know them health centers don't got nobody particular. 5-10 staff at the health center maximum. If you got 5 or 10 staff, that's the usual number to take off how many ever persons in that district, in that constituency, in that area. You sent 33 persons. Well, hold on for the laughter, man. Hold on for the best part. I ain't get the best part yet. So the staff now gone up exponentially. What are those people doing on a daily basis? What are those people doing at a health center on a daily basis? The woman said, look, story. The woman who related this thing to me. She said she went to the health center. She said she sat down. She said, oh, some of the people outside sit down. She sat down with them. And after a while, she realized nobody moving. One of the persons turned to her and said, "Where you came from, ma'am?" She says, "Well, I come for X, Y, and Z, but I just sit down here waiting like everybody else." The woman said, "No, no, no, you go to front, we staff. About 25 people sitting outside." I kid you not. She said, "I went, and in the waiting area, the little designated area, there were a lot of people there. I thought it's patients waiting. I know it's staff. It's part-time workers back out the place doing nothing." She said she went and see the people. She had sat down there. She thought it's patients. So she went to sit down patiently. No pun intended. To wait her turn. The woman said, "Big auntie, what you doing here?" I come, let's say my elbow had hurt. She said, "Well, go to the front. All we here staff." Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that is part-time staff that are sent into these places? 33, 40, 50, doing what? I appreciate that people got a little money in their pocket to spend because things tight. Nothing are moving in the economy. But the woman says she's so frustrated. A set of people sitting watching she whole day. I could imagine how little kind of eerie that could be. Soon as you look up somebody watching you, you turn to the right. It's so much of them pack out the place, the school. You look behind you, school out, you know, but school full still. School out, but school full. The woman said she went and sat down, thinking it's patience. After about 25 minutes, the woman asked if she getting through. She said, "No, no, I waiting my turn." The woman said, "No, we staff waiting out here. It's part-time people pack out the clinic, so where this country coming to? I have never seen or heard anything like this in my life." Jesselyn Eastman says that they short staff in New York. They need some folks. You know, they could probably set up some there, work on something with y'all. 10 days is 10 days. I have no trouble. Again, our folk getting some money in the pocket, but this thing is madness. You see, 40,000 people are unemployed, but there's no meaningful employment. None. I see Linden got some garbage piling up. Maybe we could send some folks up there. Parts of Georgetown flooded. If you give people some buckets and some mops, you know. I see parts of South flooded. Some buckets and some mops and so on. You know, we could get a city a fixer-upper. You know. My home, I can't afford security and so on. You could send about 50 people out there. I can do some people helping me for cook, you know. It's a lot of us right now. You know. A lot of us right now. People help me iron and so on. Can't have people say I'm holding doing nothing but the taxpayers' money. Yeah, you think it's the PP government yet? I never fathom this amount of madness. That bit all the woman said she thought was patience by the health clinic. She didn't know it's workers with nothing to do, sit down outside. The only place could fit them is the waiting area. It's sad. Folks, I want to hear these stories by you. But I want to give you the other side of that. Let me give you the other side. But if you're in a health center, if you're in a school, and you got a lot of staff just turn up. I know the woman who said they sent 30 by she. They said they kept sending more. It's left in the head teaching how to find out what work they're doing. Well, shine shoes, polish desk, I don't know. Dust the fan, flush the toilet 500 times, even though nobody really using it. You just gotta find work for them. You know. But the other side of that, the other side of issues like that, folks, the other side of issues like that, because again, folks reach out to us all the time. A young person reach out to us, and I could tell that this young person was so heartbroken, because when you're growing up, you got all these thoughts in your head. You can go to school, you get all these subjects, you can get a big, fantastic job, and life is set. That's if you tell you go to school and do well, you get a good job and so on. Person, Mr. Duncan, imagine I got 10 subjects. 10. Show me the grades. I started chopping grass. I got 10 CXC subjects that I work hard for. And imagine the place I like cutting grass. I want work, Mr. Duncan, but I want meaningful work. I got 10 CXC subjects. Right? I didn't know part of the 50,000 jobs. I only promised was to have me cutting grass for 10 CXC subjects. That was hard for me. The one with the woman with the patients, the part-time staff, she thought was patients by the young center, the clinic. That one was a little funny for me. But this one, where this young person is being shell-shocked to find the reality of life under the PPP, it's tough. 10 subjects and I like cutting grass. Lord of mercy. That hit me. That hit me differently. Yep. Yep. All right, folks. My guest got a little tied up in a meeting and is not going to do it for us today. Maybe he's going to come back at some other time during the week and share his thoughts with us. But this is some of the stuff we're going through. I was just kind of preparing the wicket, preparing the pitch, because the cost of living is tough. And Elson, who was supposed to be with us, been one of those persons who has been pushing back against Jackflation or Jackflation. No, in inflation, that's when you get it normal. Jackflation, something totally different. Right? Something totally different. 10 subjects. This young person says, I'm so disappointed. So disappointed. Now, if a young person get a break to go in the islands or even further, why can tell them stay here and cut grass with 10 sexy subjects? Cut grass and the PPP? What do you think I should tell them? Better must come. Better will come. Hold on and cut grass till we come back in government? What do you think I can tell them? Let me hear your advice to this young person. Let me hear your advice. Things rough, folks. Things rough. Folks, it's Monday. And since I'm not going to have my guest, I got about 20 minutes left. Send us a couple of voice notes and let's hear your thoughts. Not longer than a minute and a half, folks. Some of y'all think it's y'all program, 10 minutes voice note, 15 minutes voice note. That's a podcast by itself. That's a podcast. I'd love to hear from some of you. So I'm doing some work on these, some additional work on these part-time jobs. Because now I got both sides of it. I love that people can go and work and get some money. Because things tight bad. A little money to, buy a tin of milk and some Nestum or some plantains or something like that for the week is important. But the other side of it, oh my Lord. Lord. Lord, folks. It's not easy. It's not. It's just not. It's just not easy. And Jack has been saying, to compensate for his incompetence, if you actually are coming in some more money, and you get more money, and you spend it, it can lead to inflation. Right? So like he bank book ain't got nothing saved. He just got bank accounts for money pass through. He ain't got nothing saved. Or if the oil companies give you more money and you're spending more money, it can lead to inflation. Well, these guys have been saying, duh, it's not the spending of it that leads to inflation. It's how you spend it. It's where you spend it. It's where you're spending. And young, bright people like Elson Lowe, they've been challenging this kind of foolishness. They've been challenging it. So don't come around, we follow with this nonsense. Think we married yesterday? We understand that. But it's how you're spending money. Folks, it's Monday and things tight. Shout out to all those part-time workers out there putting in that 10 days, doing good work. Well, if there's nothing to do, I don't know how to blame you. If there's nothing to do, I don't know how to blame you for sitting around. Maybe that's all you can do. I'm just happy y'all can get a little money in your pockets. And you'll be able to feed your family. I'm just happy about that. Right? Right now, Guyana spectators and some other people on their part-time jobs in the comments. They get troll work. We don't mind. Right? We got to float all the boats. And we happy to give people employment. We happy because of what we do here. You guys get employment as you're into. We happy with that. We happy with that. We can live with that. Right? Then y'all get work because we get work at this side. We get work, y'all get work. Nice time. Nice time. Folks, you're sending those voice notes. Don't make them long. I'm begging you. We got a couple minutes left, and I don't want to push too far past 1 o'clock. We got about 13 or so minutes left, based on my calculation. All right. I got a topic for the trend rate.
Hey Sharon, good day. I want to know what is it, style Ali and Jagdeo just masquerading themselves.
Let me know if you're hearing our contributor.
What they're doing for pushing this cost of living with this crisis we're going on in this country. This place gonna get real terrible, you know. These people is really a disgrace to this nation. Seeing these people coming into office, squatting in office, it's sheer pucketry from left, right, and center, sheer corruption all over. You know the zombie board disappear already.
Yep. Thanks for that contribution. Pucketouring confusion powder, folks. Yep. And we're only talking about one segment of the economy, you know. We're only talking about one segment of the economy. Just one. We'd love to hear from you for a minute or two. Then we're going to wrap up at 1, guys. We're going to wrap up at 1. So once you see 1 o'clock, stop speaking, stop sending. Once you see 1 o'clock.
Good afternoon, sharers and listeners. That situation is another way in which corruption could occur. First of all, if you're putting these people out there, right, you're overloading the finances of the coffers of Guyana because they will be paid, God knows when, but eventually they will have to be paid. So, in other words, you're paying persons for doing nothing. Why not come up with a proper plan and place these people where the need exists instead of just sending them ad hoc to places? So that is a disaster waiting to happen. You know, it's always so sad when I hear about these things. No plan, no ideas about what to do with the persons. Secondly, that young man, I can understand his frustration too. The thing is, in some instances you train people for certain things, and then they have to go and work doing menial jobs. I could understand doing menial jobs in another country until you find your feet or find your footing, as we would say. But in your own country, it's most ridiculous. The last time I left a note, I questioned um, the people who were supposed to be trained. Now, I was listening to another program this morning, and from what I understand, there are persons who were trained for 1 year in terms of entrepreneurship. And to this day, only a certain ethnic group have been able to access the opportunities that were supposed to be given to everybody. Sorry. So what nonsense is this government really doing though? It's laughable.
Wow, 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 wow. I saw somebody say that her son got 12 subjects and he's still home. 12 subjects and he's still home. I saw another comment that says Kwame got one subject and he's minister. Kwame got one subject and he's minister. People got 10 subjects cutting grass, 10, 12 subjects and home. It's upside down country. I see a council out of Region 10. Says Region 10 got 100 plus permanent jobs to fill. But they're taking one set of temporary job people. You know why? All right. The council says Region 10 got over 100 permanent jobs to fill since this regime took over. 100 plus permanent jobs. It's 5 to 5 people, but they rather take on temporary staff. You think it's easy? Good folks, it's not easy. It's not easy. Not easy at all. Nope.
Yeah, sure. Good day again. Now, what these installed people doing? These people are so clueless. These people don't have a clue going on. You understand? These people just wicked and vindictive. You understand? Because it's not one set of people suffering; it's the whole entire nation suffering. Come on, look the cost of living, and these people don't have a clue going on to cushion this cost of living. All they're doing is masquerading themselves all over the place as politicians and full in the pocket. And we the Guyanese people, we're gonna accept that all the time because why we sit down too long and have Jagdi and Ali full in the pocket and the cronies, and we just sit down and accept what they're doing. So this is gonna happen to we all the time. Now when the 10 days and the 20 days or how much days part-time jobs finish, what the people gonna go to back? Not cushion back to the castle living? Eh? What they gonna eat? What they gonna do? When the 10 days done and they draw a little bit of ravelings 40,000 or how much? They're gonna be one walk in the market, the money done already. So Guyanese already have to wake up, and I think that enough of them accepting what they're getting. So there's no need to them to complain.
Yep. But just to be fair, them boys said the part-time job could last as long as 3 years. So you could be on 10 days per month work for 3 years. Yep. That's what them boys said. The part-time jobs, the 10 days per month could be as long as for 3 years. Why are you surviving like that for 3 years? Oh. Huh? Sharon, how? Huh, Sharon? How are people surviving like that for 3 years? Something wrong with that. Better must come. In the words of our senior counsel, that you'll use. Better must come. 3 years? How are you going to start a family like that? Hmm? Father have his mercies. Father have his mercies.
Good afternoon, Sharon. It's one way we hearing all the time. What the Guyanese got to know that they got to make the difference, not the political leaders. They will only guide them, but they have to come out and they have to stand up. Charity them have nothing good for the Guyana government, and they're taking that Guyana population, they're taking advantage of the Guyana population with the idea with these high handouts and this 10 days a week work. Anybody gonna accept 10 days a week work for the next 2 months? Well, some of them can't do better, But then some of them would look at that if it's a godsend, something to them to get money. But it's not a stable job. Jack don't intend to get anybody nothing stable. He give you a handout here, a hamper here, a hamper there, and then he said, okay, well, we're doing good. And some of his supporters, them who's been blinded and wearing blinders, will say, Jack is doing all this and that. So, well, Ghanaians got to come out and stand up, and you got to remember they have to go and register. That's one of the greatest things to get them out. Register and go and vote. Thank you.
Yep. Register and go vote. Perfectly said. Folks, I think that's going to do it for us at this end. Thanks to the folks who came through today. It's not our open mic day, but having a few minutes to spare, I decided I'm going to let you have a say. Where do we go from here, folks? Right? You suffering now is gone to Washington. Stay at the fancy hotel, eat a fancy steak, and so on. You know, they're so disconnected from the pulse of the people. I trust they're happy though. They're doing all that they're doing and they're still sad. Something wrong with that. Something wrong with that. Good people. Something wrong with that. Gary Archer, good to see you. Sabit Rizal, good to see you. Money for Gilbert Jones, GT Starboy. And all the other wonderful folks joining us like Wilfred McCaddy. Good to have you. Those of you who are new and stopping by, good to have you as well. Those of you sending us so much love, so much good wishes. We thank you for those words of kindness and encouragement. Alex Boom, Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, Roxy Daly Austin, Reynold Worrell, Anna Gordon, good to have you. Claudette Bobby Lewis, good to have you as well. Bonita Elise Parker. I see Kemo Waldron. Sweetness Ballers. Very subjective. Sweetness Ballers. I see Karen Clark and Paul Hawkins. Bernard Innes. Bernard, how you doing? Bella Mona. Donna McDonald. Good to have you. Good to have you, Donna. And all the other guys joining us from around the world, like Ainsley Ben Morgan. Ainsley, how you doing, man? How you doing, Ainsley? Sadie DB. Good to have you on board, Sadie. Good afternoon to all our first timers. Hope you guys are great. Hope all is well with you. Hope you have a fantastic afternoon. We're going to see you guys right back here at 8 o'clock this evening as we step into the ring. I hope you guys have the testicular fortitude to step. All right. Step in the name of love behind bars now. Right with that. Good to have each and every one of you here, guys. Good to have you folks here. We're going to see you guys right back here at 8 p.m. as we wrap up our final broadcast for the day. You see anything interesting out there, folks, happening, let us know. And if you're at a school, they got a lot of people or at a health center or anywhere, a lot of part-time people, let us know. Let us know, guys. Boys, I know one thing we're doing. We were going somewhere. We're on a trajectory. They didn't like that. They didn't like it at all. But I want to thank you guys for joining. Have a fantastic afternoon. Hope all goes well with you. Watch out for the weather. Stay vigilant, folks. Watch out for them trench crab poles, chagabats, tadpoles, and cricketers. The jumpy birds, scarecrows and carrion crows. Watch for them. Angeli, how you doing? Angeli Abrams. See you there, Angeli. There's Emmanuel. Good to see you too. And all the other folks. See you guys this evening. Stay safe out there now. Stay safe. Hazelyn King, Maxine Monroe, and Kearns. I see y'all. Good to have you guys aboard. Armin Passat. Thanks for your kind words. You go ahead and have a great afternoon as well. Take care. Send you some cyber hugs there now. Take care.